Hi and welcome back or welcome to my All the Perfume YouTube channel. In this video I'll be sharing my favourite perfumes for spring. This video has been requested in the last couple of weeks and we certainly are into more mild weather in the UK and enjoying out lighter evenings. It is spring, we are here, and typically the kinds of spring scents that are more floral and perhaps lighter aren't always to my personal taste. But I have found that in my last few reviews I have been saying this would be a really good spring perfume, so actually I am enjoying more typically spring scents and I can't wait to share with you some of the newer launches but also some old favourites to show you what I think are really great picks for spring. This perfume is Yum Pistachio Gelato by Kayali, and it feels like a really strong start to our spring perfumes because not only do I think that this is so great for spring, it's one of my favourite perfumes ever that I love to recommend. And in actual fact, it's a perfume that whenever somebody visits, family member or friend, they try it out and they love it too. Nobody has disliked this perfume yet. We have our notes on the back of the bottle. Let's give them a read. Pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow and cotton candy. And I attended the launch of this perfume last year where I was lucky enough to meet Mona. So personally, it just sparks really good vibes and good memories for me. But I felt then, back in March 2023, that this was the perfect spring perfume because it just smelled of like newness and looking forward. It was so uplifting and so bright that it was just everything I would want at that time of year. This perfume is so unusual in that it has a kind of special type of projection that smells cold, and I've said that before, so it's got that ice cream effect for sure. It's cold and creamy and it's sweet, but it's not typically gourmand with some of the other perfumes I talk about. This has the brightness in the bergamot, which absolutely helps it to be a unisex perfume as well. And it's smelling good. It is just so uplifting that I feel it's perfect for the time of year where you are planning ahead and looking ahead. You're into those brighter months and, you know, Christmas and the previous year feel well into the past. I just think that this is such a bright, lovely perfume for spring and one that I would recommend anyway. I am going to layer this today with Café Oud by Kayali because I've been filming and I've been talking about that perfume in another video. So this is fun to layer as with all our Kayali perfumes, but I think it is a great spring choice from the brand and it will just have you feeling good. This is Honey by Marc Jacobs and the notes are pear, punch and mandarin orange in the top. In the middle, honeysuckle, peach and orange blossom, and in the base, vanilla, honey and woodsy notes. And this is my original bottle that I had when the perfume was first launched, and I just love this scent and you can still buy it. I was glad of that fact because I would rather not recommend things that are discontinued and that you have to hunt for, of course, but this one is still out there, you can still find it. Now, similarly with our Yum perfume that we started with, this is all about the uplifting feeling it gives me when I wear it as to why I love it, but also think it's really great for spring. This used to get compliments when I was wearing it regularly, and it's got this lovely, fruity, kind of watery honey feeling to it. It feels like you're putting something on, like it's more than a perfume. It's refreshing and kind of wet. I've said that about a couple of perfumes recently. It feels like it's giving you something a little bit more, and in fact, as the weather gets even warmer, this would be a fun perfume to wear. This is a perfume that really helped me to love the honeysuckle note in fragrances. I don't detect too much of the vanilla, but it's certainly a honey perfume, not the strongest one I have. I like this for the fruitiness and the mix with the honeysuckle, but this is just feel good. I don't think I could ever put this on and regret it. It makes me feel great at the start of a day. The bottle is so cute and one that I've had fun taking out and about with me as well. I love having this in my collection, and actually recently it's made me want to go and try Dot by Marc Jacobs all over again. I think this is so lovely for spring. Honey, but not too strong, fruity and refreshing at the same time. This is Angelic Vanilla by Zara, and I have very recently reviewed this perfume along with others by Zara, and I will include the link to my video below. It is not what you would expect as a spring pick with its black bottle and gold lid, but I'll get into the notes and tell you why I love it for spring. This is bergamot and almond blossom in the top. In the middle it's rose, rice and myrrh, and in the base you've got tonka, woods, vanilla and musk. And yeah, I tried this along with the 3 other perfumes in the Zara vanilla range, and I just loved it. I mean, I did go back and forwards a little bit as I explained in my original review video, but that smell of the almond blossom is just so good, and I feel like this is the sort of perfume that if I'd smelt it on somebody else, I would feel like it was different to my usual taste, but I would be asking them what it was and where I could buy it from. It leaves such a lovely trail and it projects so well. It's creamy and light and yet strong at the same time. The rice note is kind of fluffy and unusual, and you get just enough of the woods in the base to give it that strength. So I think this is incredible for spring, although as I said, it doesn't look very spring-like, but that's fine. It still is what I'm smelling in the perfume. That lovely floral note in the top, and it's so affordable. I bought this 30ml bottle for £12.99, so you have to love Zara for their affordable fragrances. This is great for spring. I want to wear this when it's bright outside, when there's a lightness to everything, and you can just leave this lovely floral, fluffy scent trail as you go. I would recommend Angelic Vanilla. This perfume is English Daffodil by Yardley, and the notes are grapefruit blossom, lemon zest, peach and apple in the top. In the middle, lily of the valley, jasmine sambac, rose, peony and daffodil. And in the base, musk, amber, cedarwood and heliotrope. I really like Yardley perfumes. I worked with them quite a long time ago now, when I was expecting my son actually, and they just seem to come out with these great quality kind of single note perfumes, or at the very least in the name of the fragrance. You've got your English honeysuckle, English jasmine, and here we have English daffodil, which I was really excited by because daffodil is so rarely a note in perfumes, and if I remember rightly, it was a note in a perfume I reviewed with a brand I worked for, Rozenn by Christophe LeBo, and they used daffodil as the inspiration for the colour of that scent too. And it's not until now I've seen daffodil come around in a perfume again. You may have noticed my lid is a little bit kind of off the bottle already, and that is because as much as I love the brand, I find their lids a little bit hard to take off, and nobody needed to see me struggle with that. Let's give the scent a test. So, oh, I can't wait. That's so lovely. That reminds me of being a child now. I feel like if this was launched as a Marc Jacobs perfume, everybody would be all over it basically. That smells beautiful. So floral, a lot like Daisy actually, a lot like Marc Jacobs Daisy, and more than I thought on my first test. Like being in a field of flowers. So very pretty. I can smell daffodil. And I love the smell of daffodils. I feel like when you have a bunch of daffodils, you know it's springtime. Well, you don't. I mean, I've been buying them since January, where it certainly was not springtime, but the look of them, they're spring, aren't they? They are so synonymous with spring. I get the peach and the apple. They're lovely additions. A little hint of lemon, but not much. And this projects in a musky way, so the musk is there too. This is really nicely done, and the Yardley scents are quite affordable too, and with them and such an established brand, you know you're getting good quality. My only little gripe is the lid, but a beautiful fragrance. I love how it looks with the yellow daffodil coloured juice as well, so I absolutely had to include this in my perfumes for spring. You'll smell this and just think of flowers. It's really a nicely done perfume. This perfume is Burberry Her Petals, and the notes are wild berries, violet, jasmine and amber. And I reviewed this just after it was launched at the start of the year, and it has received a lot of attention online, and I think it is this beautiful bottle that's got our petals inside. They are just decorative, they're not real petals, but it looks amazing, doesn't it? And I feel like this would be such a good gift for somebody because of how it looks. And true to Burberry style and how much I love Burberry perfumes, the scent is really great too. So this perfume is quite similar to Her Elixir, another perfume that I love, that I do actually have on the way. I've ordered it because I feel they're different enough. This is definitely that lovely crushed berry, sugary makeup smell in the top, almost powdery. But this is more floral than some of the other Her editions. I can smell both of those floral notes, and it is feminine and it's pretty and it's not too strong. I wore it for the day out, that I had at the start of the year, and I sprayed a few sprays, not, you know, my usual level of spraying that I can do, and it was there, but it wasn't too strong. It would kind of need topping up if you want to really smell it on yourself. So it kind of suits the spring theme there in that it's not overpowering or too strong. I feel like the Her Intense, as you would expect from the name, gives you that, you know, better projection and longevity. But this is really nice, and I'm testament to the fact that you can have both in your collection, because I have bought Elixir as well. This smells really good, it looks so good, and a few months on, the price has come down a bit too. So I would recommend Burberry Her Petals for spring. This perfume is Gucci Flora Gorgeous Magnolia, and the notes are dewberry and coconut in the top, in the middle, magnolia, jasmine and sage, and in the base, patchouli, musk and woods. And I really enjoyed finding out a little bit more about this bottle design when I was at a perfume shop event near the start of the year. And these lovely flowers that you have on the front are meant to represent a scarf that was designed for Grace Kelly by Gucci. So that is a lovely detail and throwback to the history of the brand as well. It looks really great. I also just love this purple. That's not lost on me as my favourite colour. With the scent itself, it is a floral perfume, of course, as I would expect, but it gave me something a little bit different. You get that lovely dewberry and juiciness in the top, some coconut, that give it more strength than I would have expected. I loved wearing this when I did. I chose to wear it to a garden centre. I wanted to smell the flowers, and I could absolutely smell the jasmine and the magnolia, kind of in equal measure actually. This is jasmine as much as it is magnolia for me. And for that reason, it does remind me of Ralph Lauren's Romance perfume, a scent which was basically my signature for like 4 years. I loved how that made me feel. I loved knowing it was, you know, it was pretty, but it could also be smelt and recognised. It lasted, and this one really did last on my skin the day I wore it. It's a really lovely offering from the brand. And then in the dry down, that patchouli gives it a little bit of strength as well. A great perfume, an enjoyable one that I think to have this as your spring choice, carrying around in its little bottle, very cute, very perfect for spring, but something a little bit different. It wasn't as safe as I thought it would be. I like that dewberry opening. So I would recommend for spring, Gucci Flora Gorgeous Magnolia. This perfume is Amber Vanilla from the Seven Virtues, and the notes are pink pepper and bergamot. Then we have carnation, lily of the valley and sweet santal, and in the base, ambroxan, iso super E, vanilla and skin musks. And this perfume is meant to work with your skin and your natural scents. And I actually have a full review of this fragrance coming up, and another one from the brand. So thank you to the Seven Virtues for sending me these to try. But I wanted to include Amber Vanilla in my spring lineup. For its mood enhancing qualities, that is what the brand want from this perfume. Let's give it a spray. So, in actual fact, when I smell this, I'm not met with pepper at the top. It's like smelling a bunch of flowers, but putting your nose to a really good bouquet. It smells amazing. And I love the carnation in there for a twist. That's always a note that catches my attention in perfumes. So when I saw that it was in Amber Vanilla, I was excited. I knew it would be smelling good. And this is pretty in its floral notes, and it's given me the same kind of vibe as Kylie's Cosmic perfume. That's Cosmic by Kylie Jenner, which is a very pleasing, lovely, floral, inoffensive scent. And this gives me that. But then this one is very similar to Vanilla Woods by the brand, which is the other perfume I'll be reviewing, because the vanilla comes through, but more in its projection than what you smell on your first test. It gives a kind of cozy vanilla scent trail, and it's really bright. The opening gives it a real brightness, which is what I always say about bergamot in fragrances. I think it works so well in our top notes, making amber vanilla really great for spring. Bright, floral, but with vanilla, so it's kind of versatile. You could wear it into the evening too, and it would be really fun to layer. I love amber vanilla for spring. This is Dark Cherry and Amber from Banana Republic, and the notes are sour cherry and pink freesia in the top, praline and cherry blossom in the middle, and amber and cedar in the base. This has recently joined my collection thanks to Phoenix Beauty for sending it over, and from the packaging and the look, it is not what I would be expecting on first sight to be including in a spring roundup of fragrances, but that's how it smells to my nose. It smells really good, and actually I got my sister to taste this when she was round last week, and she loved it too. And she's quite a tough crowd when it comes to perfumes. Now it's kind of smelling like a really good ice lolly. This has changed even since then. It's just got this lovely kind of refreshing feel to it. The sour cherry is there. That is such a good note in perfumes. I love it in Paris Hilton's Dazzle fragrance. I don't really get the praline. There's freesia, and then for me, really, this is what I'm thinking of as a cherry blossom perfume. This is how I will think of this fragrance in my collection. It's cherry blossom, but with something dark, as the name suggests, with in the base that cedar coming through, giving it longevity, which is great because actually this is a really affordable perfume. I looked at the price and was quite surprised. I love the size of the bottle too. So you can buy this for less than £30. And now it has that kind of sweet ice lolly feel to it as well. So I'm thinking even for summer, this is a really great versatile perfume. But predominantly it's that cherry blossom as it lasts on the skin more than it is that opening. Very pretty and very different. I haven't really smelt anything like this perfume. So a really enjoyable addition and one that I would recommend for spring. This perfume is Covet Pure Bloom by Sarah Jessica Parker. And in the top of the scent we have tuberose, plum, coconut and jasmine. In the middle, musk, mandarin orange, orris fruit and sandalwood, and amber in the base. And when I was talking about kind of classics and old favourites, I was referring to this perfume because I've had this bottle a long time. I really love the fragrance for spring. Even before I really could appreciate spring perfumes, I knew that this was it. I knew that this is exactly what this perfume is good for. And so when I saw that you can still buy it online, I was even more happy. Including it, of course. I didn't want to leave it out. I've always included it in my Instagram spring roundups. I'm about halfway through this actually. I just do find these bottles a bit of a struggle, and with my Covet by SJP, yeah, they don't spray very well. That's a story for another day, but that's my only little moan. So I went to spray this and actually nothing had come out. So I do need my new bottle. And with the fact it had happened with my Covet, it is a little bit of a risk. But the perfume is so good, and it is what I think of when I think of tuberose, because really it is this scent that changed my mind on that note. I went from kind of finding it a little bit headache inducing to thinking, wow, this is pretty. And in Covet Pure Bloom, it works with the coconut and the plum. They are the notes I smell when I smell this perfume, and I feel it's just everything you'd want in a gift for somebody. The pretty colour, the flower detail, the fact it lasts. It's so affordable as well. Yeah, I hope I just got unlucky with my bottles. I'm going to give it another go and enjoy a new one. Maybe I can try and rescue some of the scent from this bottle. It's still an absolute spring recommendation from me. The fact that it's still available hopefully means that it doesn't happen too often with the bottles not working out. I love this fragrance, and I will include my link to my SJP review video because she has so many amazing fragrances. This perfume is La Vie Belle Rose Extraordinaire, and in the top of the scent we have bergamot, green stems and orange. In the middle, rose, rose water, damask rose and iris, and in the base, ambroxan, sandalwood, woodsy notes, musk and moss. And this is a recent addition to my collection. The perfume was launched in 2024, and I can honestly say that every time I look at the bottle, it seems to get more beautiful. I love it, and this one has received a lot of attention online already. Now, in terms of the scent, it is not the full-on rose perfume that I was expecting, which I'm quite happy about. I've got a few rose perfumes that I really enjoy, but it isn't among my favourite notes. And what I get with this is quite different. The rose is there and it's kind of watery. I kind of go between, am I smelling a beautiful scent of a really great hotel, or am I outdoors among the flowers? And it was when I was reviewing this, I will include that review in the links below as well, that I thought of kind of a spring collection of perfumes and spring wears, and that with my request for this video, I thought, yeah, I'm getting my spring perfumes together. It's that mix of the lovely outdoor feeling, but also like your smelling quality. So that's where this perfume takes me. I just love that green stems are a note. I think that's great. I mean, what better to think of spring than green stems? And I don't know, for me, cutting the bottoms off your stems off your flowers, ready for a display. What I love about this perfume as well is that on the skin, it's got a bit more of a sticky quality. The woods come through, the iris is more noticeable on the skin, and then again you get that quality. And I feel like you could spray this, just a handful of sprays, and you'd know you smelt good throughout the day. So it would kind of make a really good perfume for somebody who doesn't own a lot of bottles and wants their one good scent. I really enjoy this one. Perfect for spring, Rose Extraordinaire. This perfume is Blossom by Jimmy Choo, and the notes are red berries, raspberry and citrus in the top, in the middle sweet pea and rose, and in the base white musk and sandalwood. And it was what I would consider another classic in my collection, an old favourite that I love to wear for spring and always have done. I've had this perfume since its launch, and to be honest, for me, Jimmy Choo is another brand that can't go really wrong. I kind of want to go back and add in previous perfumes they've brought out that I don't already own. I love them that much. Now, with our Blossom scent, I don't see what you couldn't love about this perfume. It's a real burst of fruits in the top. It's sugary, it's musky and playful, it's fun. It's like the kind of perfume I would expect Paris Hilton to launch. It smells like that. In fact, it's got a little bit of the Can DNA to it. It smells a little bit like Can by Paris Hilton. This is a lot about the sweet pea for me though. That is how I kind of came across sweet pea as a note in fragrances, and I really associate it with Blossom. It's smelling good, and I appreciate more of that fruit in the opening than I ever used to. Some people find this quite citrusy in its opening, and I don't really. It's more about the berries and then a lovely woody dry down. I love sandalwood in my perfumes. I enjoy the bottle. It looks great. They all do to me, and it's a nice one to carry around. I've taken this on trips before and had it as basically my perfume for the 3-day duration of the trip because I love it that much. A great recommendation from me, I think, because it is affordable too. I think Blossom, as you might expect from the name, is perfect for spring. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about my favourite perfumes for spring. Please do let me know if you've tried any of these fragrances, but also if you even take any notice of the seasons when it comes to your perfumes, or do you just wear whatever you like all year long? It is certainly an interesting topic, especially when our weather doesn't always really follow the seasonal patterns. I've been thinking about it, and I appreciate a theme nonetheless. Even if the weather isn't doing what the season says it should, I quite like having a kind of theme to get excited about and bring in new changes. So do let me know as well if you've tried any of these perfumes. I would love to chat to you in the comments, and as ever, I will answer any questions too. Please do give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe to my channel. You can check out lots of reviews and collection videos from the past, and I have a lot more coming up as well. Please do find me on Instagram, where I post daily, on TikTok and on my blog. Thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video.